The life and sad ending of Tammy Wynette. Tammy Wynette was born on May 5, 1942, was born near Tremont, Mississippi, the only child of Mildred Faye and William Hollice Pugh. Her father was a farmer and local musician who died due to a brain tumor when Wynette was 9 months old. Her mother worked in an office, as a substitute school teacher, and on the family farm. At Pugh's death, Mildred left her daughter in the care of her parents, Thomas and Flora Russell, and moved to Memphis, Tennessee, to work in a defense plant during World War II. In 1946, Mildred married Foy Lee, a farmer. The Russell home had no indoor toilets or running water. Wynette was raised with an aunt, Carolyn Russell, who was only 5 years older, more like a sister than an aunt. As a girl, Wynette taught herself to play a variety of musical instruments left behind by her father. In 1963, she attended Beauty College in Tupelo, Mississippi, where she learned to be a hairdresser. She continued to renew her cosmetology license every year for the rest of her life, just in case she ever had to go back to a daily job. Her life is told to start as the broken marriages. She has up to 5 times to get married, to Upal Bird with whom she had 3 daughters, to Don Chappell, born Lloyd Franklin Ambergy, to George Jones, to Michael Tomlin 44 Days, and to singer-songwriter George Ritchie. In the mid-1970s, Wynette was linked romantically with actor Burt Reynolds and they were good friends up to Wynette's sudden death. Wynette had 3 children with Bird. She gave birth to 2 daughters by the time she was 20. Gwendolyn Lee Bird, Jacqueline Faye Bird, and Tina Denise Bird. Wynette also had a daughter with George Jones, Tamala Georgette Jones, who is also a country singer. Georgette worked as a registered nurse for 17 years. The situation was like that, but her career was different. She had many remarkable achievements, and her career started as follows. While working as a hairdresser in Midfield, Alabama, in 1965, Wynette sang on the Country Boy Eddie show on WBRC-TV in Birmingham, which led to performances with country music star Porter Wagoner. In 1966, she moved with her 3 daughters from Birmingham to Nashville, Tennessee, in hopes of landing a recording deal. After being turned down repeatedly, she auditioned for Epic Records producer Billy Sherrill. Initially reluctant to sign her, Sherrill found himself in need of a singer for a tune written by Bobby Austin and Johnny Paycheck, Apartment No. 9. Upon hearing Wynette's version, he was impressed and put her under contract. Her first single, Apartment No. 9, was released in December 1966, and just missed the top 40 on the country charts, peaking at number 44. It was followed by Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad, which became a big hit, peaking at number 3. The song launched a string of top 10 hits that ran through the end of the 1970s. After Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad was a success, My Elusive Dreams, a duet with David Houston, became her first number 1 in the summer of 1967, followed by I Don't Wanna Play House later that year. I Don't Wanna Play House won Wynette a Grammy Award in 1967 for Best Female Country Vocal Performance, one of 2 wins for Wynette in that category. Tammy Wynette was a man gifted with music, so she was told during 1968 and 1969, Wynette had 5 number 1 hits, Take Me to Your World, Divorce, Stand By Your Man, Singing My Song, and The Ways to Love a Man. Stand By Your Man was reportedly written in the Epic studio in just 15 minutes by Billy Sherrill and Wynette, and was released at a time when the women's rights movement was beginning to stir in the U.S. The song became very successful, reaching the top spot on the country charts, and was also a top 20 pop hit, peaking at number 19 on the Billboard pop charts in 1968, Wynette's only top 40 hit as a solo artist on the pop charts. In 1969, Wynette won the Grammy Award for Best Female Country Vocal Performance for Stand By Your Man, which is now, according to critics, considered a classic or country music standard. She earned a gold record awarded for albums selling in excess of 500,000 copies for Tammy's Greatest Hits, which was certified in 1970 by the RIAA. The album was awarded platinum record status, awarded for albums selling in excess of 1 million copies in June 1989. In 1970, director Bob Rafelson used a number of her songs in the soundtrack of his 1970 film 5 Easy Pieces. During the early 1970s, Wynette, along with singer Loretta Lynn, ruled the country charts and was one of the most successful female vocalists of the genre. During the early 1970s, #1 singles included He Loves Me All the Way, Run Woman Run, and The Wonders You Perform, all from 1970, Good Lovin', Bedtime Story, both 1971, My Man, Till I Get It Right, and Kids Say the Darndest Things, 1973. One of them, The Wonders You Perform, was a hit in Italy in 1971, thanks to Ornella Vanoni, who recorded the song in an Italian version, Domani è un altro giorno, Tomorrow is Another Day. A number of her duets with Jones reached the top 10 on the U.S. country singles charts during this time, including The Ceremony, We're Gonna Hold On, and Golden Ring. In 1968, Wynette became the second female vocalist to win the Country Music Association Awards Female Vocalist of the Year award, later winning an additional 2 other times. For nearly 2 decades, Wynette held the record for most consecutive wins, until 1987, when Reba McEntire won the award for the 4th consecutive time. In 1976, Wynette had another #1 as a solo artist, You and Me, which became her final #1 as a solo artist. Her last #1 came as a duet with George Jones in early 1977 titled, Near You. The ups and downs develop as an eternal law. Following 1976, Wynette's popularity slightly slowed, however, she continued to reach the top 10 until the end of the decade, with such hits as Let's Get Together, One of a Kind, Womanhood, No One Else in This World, and They Call It Mackin' Love. She had a total of 20 #1 hits on the U.S. country singles charts, include 16 solo, 3 with Jones, and 1 with Houston. Along with Loretta Lynn, Dolly Parton, Barbara Mandrell, Dottie West, and Lynn Anderson, she helped redefine the role and place of female country singers. In 1981, a TV movie about Wynette's life was aired called Stand By Your Man, which was based on her memoir of the same title. Actress Annette O'Toole portrayed Wynette in the film. Beginning in the early 1980s, however, her chart success began to wane, though she did continue to have top 20 hits during this period, including Starting Over and He Was There, a cover of the Everly Brothers hit Crying in the Rain, Another Chance, You Still Get to Me in My Dreams, and A Good Night's Love, 1983. A 1985 cover of the 70s Dan Hill hit Sometimes When We Touch, performed with Mark Gray, reached #6 in 1985. In 1982 she recorded a track with the Ray Conniff Singers, a rendition of Delta Dawn, and Not Recognized. In 1986, she acted on the CBS TV soap opera Capital, playing beautician singer Darlene Stinkowski. In 1988, she filed for bankruptcy as a result of a bad investment in 2 Florida shopping centers. Wynette's 1987 album Higher Ground featured a neo-traditional country sound and was both a critical and relative commercial success. 2 of the singles released from the album, Your Love and Talkin' to Myself Again, reached the top 20 on the U.S. country singles charts. A third single, Beneath a Painted Sky, featuring duet vocals from Emmylou Harris, reached #25 in early 1988. It would ultimately be Tammy Wynette's final top 40 country single. In late 1991 she recorded a song with the British group the KLF titled Justified and Ancient, which became a #1 hit in 18 countries the following year, and reached #11 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the United States. The song gave Wynette a new following and was her highest charting single on the Billboard pop charts. Wynette's last concert was given on March 5, 1998, stepping in for Loretta Lynn, who was ill at the time. Wynette's last television appearance was on the TNN series Primetime Country on March 9, 1998, performing Stand By Your Man and Take Me to Your World. Wynette's last Grand Ole Opry appearance was on May 17, 1997. She performed Your Good Girl's Gonna Go Bad, which was her first top 5 hits, and Stand By Your Man, her #1 song and signature song, and her first single Apartment Number 9, which had gone to number 44 on the Billboard country charts but had become a classic to her loyal fan base and to country music. Her career was still unfinished, but it had to end. Wynette had many serious physical ailments beginning in the 1970s. She had at least 26 major surgeries during her lifetime. Although some of these problems were often very serious, Wynette was still able to pursue her singing career and regularly toured to promote her work. Tammy Wynette, death on April 6, 1998. Aged 55 in April 1999. Her body was exhumed from her crypt in an attempt to settle a dispute over how she died. The coroner declared she died from cardiac arrhythmia. Thank you for what you did. And here we know that you will be the one to leave us with many impressions that never fade. Dear Tammy Wynette.